Hello! Welcome back. You hear the foot rock walk? You know what this means. Draft analyze list time. Now, I would like to also to be known, this might be one of the last ones I'm gonna do like this. I have two, I'll tell you right now, guys. I have two Wi-Fi leagues I have right now going. Also, I want to do very edited, how I did before. And the other one I kind of also want to do edited, but we'll see. I might do this one actually how I'm doing this one, but we'll see. Anyways, we joined the TDL, which is, I think on the second season, and I'll be fully honest, I wanted the season for two themes. Oh yeah, this draft, this season, whatever, two themes. One thing is I have a good person that was also a friend, actually more than a friend. My brother is in this league, so that's why I'm actually joined it, because I'm like, oh, I wanna see if I could fight him and we could help build and all that stuff, because he helps me build as well with teams. He's very well battling. He doesn't do a lot of battling. He's really good at building. So yeah. Anyways, a lot of people in here, I'm gonna be fully honest, are kind of silly. There's one thing that was originally in this for it was a pretty silly thing, but anyways, we'll get into this team. I'll be fully honest. This team, I had one goal in mind, and it was to use one mon that I got round 4, which honestly I didn't think I would. Actually, no, it was to use the first mon, but I'll do some spoilers and stuff. This first mon we got, I love this mon, and I think it's really good. Even without the certain mon it needs, I was able to get Sneasler. Now, Sneasler is an incredible mon, in my opinion. This attack stat and speed stat is just amazing. It's really hard to prep for. Gets a great coverage, but also gets that Die Claw, which is just a really strong poison move that doesn't rely on missing like Gunk Shot. So, and of course, it gets Unburdened. Unburdened's pretty big because we can just run any item like Air Balloon, which is really good. Grassy Seed with Rillaboom, which, spoiler it, which was the original plan, get Sneasler Rillaboom. Sadly, I got sniped. So, yeah, we didn't get the Rillaboom. But that's fine. You know, we can run a lot of things. We could just run Banded / Scarf. Choice Banded / Scarf is just really good here. They're both really, really good here. You can just run Dire Claw, Close Combat. Also, we don't have to run Unburden. If we're like a Scarf set, we can run Poison Touch and have an incredibly high chance to poison. I think it's like, what? With this move, we have like a 70-80% chance to proc something. But of course, Poison Touch U-turn, it's just really good and all that stuff. This mod also gets some pretty good coverage. Another thing that's nice is that we could do Normal Jump Fake Out to proc our Unburden, because there's a lot of matchups that Cecil just simply doesn't need an SD or anything like that. It just simply needs to proc its speed boost to make sure it outspeeds like mons that probably like Quick Drive, like Boost Energy, that's what I mean, or just like Scarf. So, I think that's also really nice about this mon is that once we scroll down over here, we get Switcheroo, which means we can technically trick mons, which is also, I think, a really big thing. I love trick. Trick's really great and everything. If you guys watched my CDL, I loved using trick, Sticky Bob's Florges. Like, that's how much I love trick and all that stuff. This is just things I like to do, and I definitely gotta say that's one of my faves. The trick in just getting rid of something, because it completely throws the opponent off, and most importantly, gets rid of the entire set. Like, if you're just a Calm Mind set and I Scarf you or Banded you, there goes your whole plan, and you're like 90% of your set, because you can probably be like some sort of healing item, or like move or whatever, Calm Mind, or maybe like bulk up, and then, you know. So, yeah, this mon's amazing. Like I said, I was able to sadly get Sneasel, Rillaboom, so I had to kind of start freeballing it, I would say. There's a lot of amazing mons that somehow made it back to me, and I was really flabbergasted. I was like, oh my god. There was a 19-point mon still available, there's 2, I think. Most of 18-point mons are available, and all the stuff, all the Ubers and stuff, like, there was just so much power around. But the power I really wanted, because this mon is a absolute menace to prep for, and I could definitely say from experience, this is a mon that I have used a lot and actually won a tournament with, or not a tournament, but a draft with. Not one, sorry, get to finals. Why did I say win? This mon is incredible, and it's Latios. Latios is really good, especially in this meta, because it got flipped to. This mon is so diverse. It can pretty much be anything, and this is why this mon is so incredibly hard to prep for. D-Dance physical sets are a massive threat with its base 110 speed, but also just spec sets. Scarf too with that base 110 speed, but spec sets are insane with this 130 special attack. Another thing that's also really nice is that it has a Dragapult effect where it can be mixed and be like 90% like physical with like a D-Dance set, but we can also be like Draco Meteor because yet again we have a base 130 special attack. It's insane. This mon is absolutely terrible to prep for. Like, using it's great, prepping for it is terrible. And that's one thing you're gonna see with my team. I'm trying to make sure my opponent has a terrible time prepping. Mainly because this mon, like I said, can be anything, but also it gets some great support moves. Of course, it gets the Thunder Wave and Trick yet again. Very nice. We can completely shut down whatever we want. But it gets Recover, which is really big. So this can be very much a defensive, like, support mon with Recover, like Roar if we want to do some Hazard Spike. Like, there's a lot we could do with this mon. And it's really tough for my opponent to deal with. Not to mention, it's insane coverage. There's pretty much not a type that it doesn't get. Like, it doesn't get Fire, I think, and Fairy. I think it gets, like, almost everything else, pretty much. Yeah, does it get Shadow Ball? Yes, it does get Shadow Ball. Yeah, so, like, it's pretty much having coverage for every single typing except, like, Fire and Fairy. Which is insane to say, which most mons don't get. So that's why this mon's also really hard to, deal with, or at least it's an amazing sweeper as well because of that, because if we get this going, most times we run this physically, or like not physically, but like a sweeper mon, it's pretty much impossible for us not to have the coverage, which is really nice, which is a nice thing to deal with. But also Luster Purge. This mon easily single-handedly got boosted in Draft League from like a 16-point mon to a 19-point mon. Because of the 50% chance to lower the SPDEF by 1, but also the 95 base power. I think before it was like 65 or something. It was basically never good to run. However, now with the 50% chance and being better than Psychic, this move is incredible. This move has 0 switch-ins except for Dark. Like, even Steel Mons don't like taking this because of the -1 if you get it. It is so good. It's the same as Diancie with Diamond Storm. The fact that, like, if you get it, you become this monster that is pretty much impossible to stop. Which is why I really wanted to use it. And most importantly, it was my mon that got me to, playoffs. And most importantly, to finals. First time ever to get to that. And I loved using it. It was my second ever draft. I picked him up, and I was like, oh man, I love this. I could have picked up some power like Charizard X. It was a Nat Dex league, but nah, I went for Lottie, and I'm really glad I did. And most importantly, I'm really glad I did in this season, because Paldea Dex, I think Lottie is not only incredibly more threatening than a Nat Dex, but it's just so diverse. So sadly, it did lose D5, which is the big sad thing, but that's okay. We don't need to worry about that. Now with my next mon, I wanted Bulk. It's a good mon to just kind of be annoying and stay alive, but also give me rocks. And like I said, I'm surprised this mon made it around. By the way, I was like 4th pick or 4th seed or whatever, so we could have picked up some heat. Of course, it's crazy that I went for Sneasler over like Iron Valiant or something like that, which I think was around, but you know, if it's no Darkrai or Dragapult, I don't want it. So, but anyways, my next mon I picked up was to be my main bulky mon. This mon is gonna probably carry our back most of this league, mainly because this mon is just so good at staying alive and being annoying. And I was able to get Gliscor. Now, I fucking love Gliscor. If you don't know, Gliscor is like my 3rd favorite mon of all time. I love this mon, so I'm so glad that I get to use it. Also, look at the shiny! Ugh! Sorry. Anyways, This mon gets Poison Heal with Toxic Orb. This is incredibly annoying to deal with the Protect and Toxic Orb, mainly because running Protect, especially in singles, is really nice because you can prep for a turn 1. So we can always lead this turn 1 Protect and have a great lead. Of course, he gets Stealth Rocks and Spikes. This is really big because if we can get one mon later down the road that can be another Spiker or another Rocker, then he can kind of fulfill the other job, which is really nice. But most importantly, this mon has a pretty good attack set. 95 with that 125 defense is no joke. But the 95 with like Earthquake is really good. But another thing that's really nice is that this mon's coverage is insane. It got Crab Hammer, which is really nice. Which is good coverage pretty much. It has U-turn, which is nice. More momentum. As you can see, all our mons have a momentum. It gets knockoff, which is also, and again, we want this mon 90% of the time is going to be support, so we want the good support moves. It gets Toxic, which is really big. Most mons lost Toxic in Paldea decks. There's very rarely a mon that's not poison type that gets Toxic now, and it's nice to see that Gliscor kept it. Because this mon, yet again, does his job at being annoying. This mon is purely just to be annoying and dwindle our opponent. But another thing that's really nice is that Gliscor has the effect of just having a great stats and ability and even moves that it can pretty much check anything. We can shut down any mon we feel like, pretty much is the best way to put it, which is really nice. But yeah, this is a great core also for our Lottie Sneasler, because if we can dwindle stuff down with Toxic Spikes or Spikes or Toxic, whatever it may be, then Lottie and Sneasler can clean up, which is what the big plan was. I think this mon, if you've ever played on the ladder, speaks for itself. I don't want to talk much about him because, like I said, if you play the ladder, you see this mon 24/7. This mon was even suspect banded or suspect tested to be banded to Ubers when it first came out, and it's still a massive threat. It is such a OP mon, I'm not gonna lie, in this meta. And Paldea decks, definitely. It sadly did lose Roost, but that's okay. Toxic Orb, Protect, Poison Heal is way more than enough. Anyways, let's go back to more offense, shall we? Now this mon I was incredibly excited to use. I wanted to use this mon so badly. This mon I'm gonna say now too, because I'm already a couple weeks, I think we're like week 5 into this league. I know, I'm sorry. I just wanted to delay some of the drafts so it wasn't back to back to back to back to back. This mon's amazing and it's easily became my most comfort pick mon. And this mon is so, I just can't say it enough of how amazing this mon is. It pretty much is the King Gambit of special, I would say, of the fact that it just never, a match is never over until this mon is dead. And we picked up Greninja. Greninja, yet again, round 4 is wild. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I said this is a silly little draft. The fact that this came back round 4 is wild. This is usually a round 1 pick for 2 reasons. Protein, amazing ability. Great to just be some sort of choice item specs or scarf or even banded, because it can be mixed. Yes, 95, 103. Incredible speed, by the way. As you can see, our speed tiers are amazing with this team right now. So, we took all the good speed. But yes, that's why Protein, is great. But also, we could do a Focus Sash lead with Spikes and Toxic Spikes. We now got a Spike-a-mon. The Gliscor can now be Rocks, and this could be Spikes. However, the big thing, and this is the most comfortable set I love, and the set that I think is so busted, Battle Bond Greninja, it's just so busted. Life Orb, Battle Bond Greninja just doesn't have a switch in. In fact, there is pretty much no mon in the entire game, besides certain mons like Suicune, that can take a +1 Greninja with Life Orb. There is, there are very, very, very little mons that could just take it in general, but just mons that could take +1 is, there's 0 to none. And not to mention, yet again, we have Gliscor, which dwindles it down. We have other sweepers to get rid of checks and also dwindle down. Greninja is incredible here. Making a team that can also break super easily for Gren is what's so big about it. So, being able to get these mons and pretty much be able to be like, just really annoying and getting rid of the checks and just lowering mons HP for Greninja to clean up is going to be a big thing, and I think a big thing in this entire season, just because it's something that's just so strong, especially into this meta. With all these crazy fairies and fightings and dragons and grounds running around that Greninja can counter because it gets an incredible move pool. It gets an absolutely insane move pool. This mon does not a mon. I don't think there is a typing that specifically we don't have a move for. The only one I could say is like Bug Steel because we don't get a fire move. However, both Scizor and Fortress take like, I think like 70% to serve, and that's not with the Battle Bond. That's why Greninja is so crazy. That's just really great. But also another thing is, if you don't know, if you get a Battle Bond off, Water Shoot can get boosted. I think it says that right here. Oh, it doesn't. Does it say it here? No, it doesn't. But it gets boosted. Its base power, I think, goes up to 30, which is actually pretty big with a +1 30 stab water. If you don't know, it gets priority. It's a priority quick attack, basically, for stab water. It's really good. And I think every time you get a kill, it gets boosted or something like that. But it's just super nice. Mainly because even if somehow +1 we don't outspeed, which I don't think there's any world that we don't, because the only mon that can would be a Scarf Dragapult that can outspeed us. This mon can click Water Shuriken basically, but most importantly, it can snag kills with Water Shuriken. If there's a mon low HP and we're not faster, like Iron Valiant or something like that, and it's on like 12%, we can go for Water Shuriken and get a kill, and then it's pretty much game over. This mon's insane, and I think I could just say now, this mon will definitely show why it's insane in this draft and this entire season. This mon's crazy, and I would heavily recommend if you are a new draft player or draft player trying to get a really good mon that just is so easy to build with, put Gren. Pick up Gren. This mon's a monster. This mon is so crazy. Again, that's why I said it's King Gambit, because if you Battle Bond, a game's never over, even if there's one mon left, and that one mon's Greninja. Because either just a small misplay on the opponent's end, or if you just simply got everything low enough for Gren to kill, it's game over. Just like with King Gambit. Anyways, I'll stop gassing up my boy. I now wanted a more bulk, basically, because yet again, we have incredible offense. We don't need any offense for the rest of the season now. We had all the offense we needed, but, you know, I still like offense. But anyways, I wanted a Pokemon, and this one I wanted to use for a good bit. I wanted to use this mon actually, I think, in every single DLC 2 league I have been in. It's just been simply sniped by me. Not by me, but by someone. And I don't blame it, because this mon's amazing, even in singles. This mon everyone absolutely hates and wish was never born in VGC. You already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Incineroar. Incineroar is kind of busted in Paldea decks. I'm gonna be fully honest. And especially in Draft League, Parting Shot Intimidate is just so strong in general, but within Paldea decks, a lot of the crazy threatening mons are physical that you'll notice. So the Intim really gets procced. But most importantly, a lot of mons that it technically is like special and stuff is like Iron Valiant. He still checks Iron Valiant, and that's why he's so good. I think that's why another reason why Incineroar is so good, at least maybe in Paldea decks for me, is because it's the factor that I can check both physical and special without trying. We could run 0 physical bulk and still be able to check physical mons because of Intim and just the amazing natural bulk. This mon got the perfect EV creps right here, stats creps. We could just run something like this, Parting Shot, and now, oh, oopsie. Oh, how do I get out of this? Get me out! Okay. We can now wall pretty much anything. Not to mention, this mon, yet again, surprise, surprise, gets great coverage. This mon gets pretty much everything we need. It gets knockoff. It's amazing support mon for that reason. It gets U-turn if we don't want to run it, but it gets also Will-O-Wisp, which also really just shows that the physical side is not a threat. This mon, I'm not gonna lie, is really insane. The only weakness this has is that it's weak to heavy duty, so you have, oh, not heavy duty, but weak to wax. So you might be running heavy duty kind of often, just for that one reason. And that's, of course, a little hindrance. You could be like lefties, or maybe like a resist berry, or maybe even a boost item. That's how crazy this mon is with its stats, that we could be a boosting item and be an incredibly offensive mon. but still be, of course, like max defense basically. Like I said, this mon pretty much could check anything it feels like. It's one of those mons just like Glycical where if we feel like shutting down a mon, we can very easily. And I love that. I just love that so much. This mon I really do think I'll be drafting more often. Just cause the fact of Parting Shot in Tim is so strong, but with Will-O-Wisp and just the fact that it hits hard, it's a mon that's, it's not like something like Fortress or like I don't know, we could say other mons like Skymoon or something like that. You know, there's all these really incredible bulky mons that do their job really well and can check anything. However, don't really put much in like back, pretty much. They can't do much damage. Incineroar is the direct opposite of that. Another thing is we keep the momentum going. Greninja is the only mon that we don't get momentum for. That's a lie. We get U-turn. Our entire team gets momentum. Our entire team gets momentum so far, which is really big. Something I did not even plan for, by the way. I just picked these mons up and they just naturally had the momentum. Of course, I actually knew these these four, but like after this, I was just like, oh, these mons get momentum. That's nice. Anyways, you guys will see me also think this is pretty much my comfort pick mon as well for defense, and I think I'll be trying to use this mon more in drafts. This mon is really amazing, and like I said, just with Glenn, I heavily recommend picking this mon up if you need just a good bulky mon that also is good in general. Like, this mon's amazing in singles. I am really actually surprised. I was honestly not gonna lie, when I picked this first up, I was like, oh, I like this, I really like this, but I could see this being underwhelming after trying it out. He completely threw that in the like the trash. My complete expectations. He was like, I'm an amazing guy. He's really good. Anyways, we'll move to the next mon. And this next mon is a little, I don't know how to say this, but it's a pick that I was scared of, because I think this mon is incredible, especially with not having the weather. But most importantly, it's like I just really like this mon, and yet again, more bulk. But I could see myself picking up much better mons, especially what's around. But anyways, we picked up the good boy, one of my favorite doggos, Houndstone. Houndstone, look at these stats. These stats are amazing. Yet again, like all this bulk is insane. With yet again, the 101 attack with Poltergeist is stupid. This mon hits incredibly hard for no attacks investment. It's same thing just like Incineroar. And same with Glycical. It doesn't need investment, but yet it hits incredibly hard. Not to mention, it gets Will-O-Wisp, which is yet again our main physical wall, and it gets Fluffy. So we do have we do give him a fire weakness from adding Fluffy, but yet again, look at our team. Resist, resist, and resist. We do not care about a fire mon or a fire move. Doubling our defense stat just for a fire weakness that we have incredible resist to doesn't it hurt. But yeah, it just gets Will-O-Wisp and Destiny Bond, which is always just a scary thing to fight, but also gets Body Press, which is really nice with this high defense stat. Sadly, I don't think Fluffy works with Body Press. I actually don't know. Actually, it might. I don't know. But it also gets Trick, yet again. Another Trick mon. Oh my god, sorry, I booped. It's another Trick mon. So we could be really, yet again, Scarf is really easy with this mon. 68 speed doesn't sound great, but 68 speed with a Scarf with Poltergeist is not bad at all. Get Starter Fleek. Yeah, Trick, what's it called? Trick choice is really good, but another thing I've also seen a lot of people run is like some weird item. Just to like stop really threatening mons. So I don't fully know how much to say about this mon, because also, by the way, Last Respects is banned, of course. Just would like to keep that mentioned, you know. It also gets great coverage, by the way, for like dark mons can't really come in because of play rough, which is another big thing. But of course, you know, you should expect that in Gen 9 nowadays. I really like this mon. I'm not gonna lie. I've been using it in this draft, and it's pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Yet again, another mon that kind of blew my expectations, you know, out the window. It's a really good mon. I'm really happy with it. I think it's definitely a sort of one-dimensional mon. It definitely runs Poltergeist very often, like pretty much 90% of the time. Same with Will-O-Wisp 90% of the time. And then same with Body Plus Flash Play Rough 90% of the time. So this mon, that's one of the problems. Our opponent can definitely guess what we're running. but it's still a great mod nonetheless. It's a mod that even one-dimensional is still amazing, and that's what's important. Anyways, I'm still not done with the bulk. I wanted to use this mod so long. Ever since my first Paldea decks, I've been trying to grab this good boy. Mainly because it's one of the best, I don't want to say one of the best, but it's an amazing Chi-Yu check. Which my team doesn't really like Chi-Yu super often. We could have been AV Grand for a Chi-Yu, honestly, check. But another thing is that this gives us another fire immunity, which helps Houndstone, that's why I specifically got it. But also gives us a fairy type. We get the good boy. We get the Dash Bunny. Look how good and cute he is. He's a Dash Bunny. He's so cute. So this mon is one reason why I love this mon, because fairy. It's amazing. Fairy is great. Look at that defense stat. That's insane. Will Big Body giving us a fire immunity is just so big, especially in this meta with now Gorgent Fire and all these crazy like Iron Moth and stuff running around. But yet again, it gets body press. So if we get a Will Big Body, get that +2 stage boost and body press, we're now hitting incredibly hard. Not to mention this mon also I believe gets Iron Defense. Really, it's not even here. I thought it did. Maybe I lied. I'm sorry. But one of the big reasons why I love this mon, and one thing you've definitely noticed if you watched most of my draft leagues, is I love regen and wish support. And this mon is a definition of wish support. This mon loves clicking wish, protect, baton pass. This is an incredibly one-dimensional mon, just like any wish, protect, baton pass mon is, because 3 of its moves you already know. And then this last move is going to be play with, most likely, body press. However, this doesn't stop of how stupidly annoying it's to deal with, but also how amazing this is. Life Orb Gren, we don't have to worry about the Life Orb damage when we could wish it back up. Same with Sneasel and Lottie. If we wanted to run offensive specs, Skyfe, Lottie, we could just simply wish it back up and we have the threat right back up. Same with Sneasel. Of course, Sneasel will be dying 90% of the time, honestly. Doesn't have good defense. Look at that. But it's still effective. But another thing is that it helps Incineroar a lot too with wish support because he doesn't have a way to heal besides Drain Punch. And I think he gets Vest, but we're not going to run Vest. Unless we're like some bulk upset. But it's really amazing with our team right now. And it's also just such a great... it really filled in the missing holes on our wall, which is really nice. With this team by itself, I could pretty much just bring these mons. I don't need any more mons, and this is, I'm safe to go. But of course, this is Draft League, which means I get more power. And after this, I started grabbing my first Terror Captain, and Amon, I'm gonna be fully honest, I was incredibly inspired by the legend himself, Poke-Aim, and it's because I absolutely love how this mon plays. I love how this mon acts. I love using this mon, and I love building with this mon. This mon is definitely I think my most comfort pick for low points. And it's our Bavola. Now, you could watch Poke-Aim and know how crazy this good mon is, but I can also show you guys. I'll be fully honest right now, I'll do a little spoiler. This mon has put in insane work in this draft so far. Seed Sower / Harvest is incredibly amazing abilities, because of course, Harvest, we can just go back to full HP, but Seed Sower Lefties is such a amazing set that I have easily fell in love with, because all you have to do is hit me, and now I'm healing like 2, I'm pretty much almost going to go back to full HP 90% of the time. Not to mention, we get the Grassy Terrain boost. We can have 1 Giga Drain to heal, but this now gets boosted by 1.5 times because of Grassy Terrain. This mon is a threat with this incredible bulk as well. Look at this. Look at this. There's been a lot of sets where I have run 0 bulk and still just been able to wall everything on the team and just been fully offense and just get kills. This mon's insane. And the reason why this mon's insane is because it gets Strength Sap. I fucking love this mon. This mon does not need Terror, but we gave it Terror. The Terror types we did give is Grass. Of course, the legendary Fire. Terror Fire is really great for coverage. This is pretty much all the coverage it needs with normal, Grass, Fairy, and then, because it gets Alluring Voice and Fire. It pretty much hits everything in the entire, I would say, game that you would want to for good damage, mainly because of Giga Drain. It has a really boom effect of like, you might be resistant to Giga Drain, but because of terrain, we don't care. it just hits too hard still. So, because of that, we, what's it called? We don't really care with the coverage, though. Also, in our final Terror type is Fairy, just because Fairy is such an amazing Terror type, and just typing in general, so. But yeah, this mon also gets Leech Seed, which is really nice, and Substitute. This mon is insane. Also Synthesis, which is another big thing. If we want to be Synthesis, like Harvest down the road, we can. I'm definitely more of a fan of Strength Sap, just because it lowers that attack stat, and also still heals really good. But it gets another amazing, incredibly busted move, just in general. It's Encore. It's definitely more of a skillful move, because you have to, of course, predict, prep, and be correct, because you do have daily 9 speed, so we have to predict what the person's going for, or lock the person in, not expecting, knowing what we're gonna, lock in. But this still just is such a good move. It's the same reason of choice items, why it has, of course, the down effect. You're locked into a move. You give me a free switch in, basically, and that's why it's so good. This mon, I'm not gonna lie, I'll say right now, has put in more work than some of my offensive mons. This mon is incredible. I absolutely love this mon. I'm in love with this mon. I love this mon so much. I'm gonna keep saying it. I love this mon. This mon is so much fun to use and just build for. It's so good. I love it. I can see myself drafting this every single draft league. I love it. Okay, I'll stop. I'll move on because I'm gonna keep talking about how much I love it. Anyways, now this is gonna be. Okay, I'm gonna skip these mons because I'll tell you guys now, we did do a trade. Not because our team was bad, not because we had a bad team, but because I was able to pick up a mon that was better for my team overall. But I'm gonna talk about that at the last, because I actually traded, I traded the mon and then picked up 2 mons in return. So, I will tell you the mons we traded and stuff, and you're gonna see me use the mon that we traded week 1. But, I think I said in week 2 already, that I've traded. But anyways, I picked up my other Terror Captain, and this mon is debatably the best low tier Terror mon of all time. It's Glacier. Glacier with Terror is absolutely stupid. Yet again, the stats just speak for itself. These stats are absolutely fucking dumb. This mon sits here forever with SD, Iron Defense, Lefties, Body Press, sits here forever. It's such a good mon. And the one thing drawing it back, and the main reason why it's so meh usually, is because of its ice typing. Ice is just not good defensively, it's not good to set up with, it's good offensively. We can now Terror into Electric and Fairy, getting rid of this, making the ultimate bulky mon with Terror Fairy, but also have the offensive power of Ice. This mon is a monster, and if you have ever played Draft League and fought this with Terror, you know this mon's a monster. This mon, it's almost impossible, if maybe it is impossible to have a check to this. Due to its great coverage, I would say some of the best check would be like Quagsire maybe, a Water Ground. But it gets Trailblaze, which does, because of its 145 base attack, I think Quagsire takes 75% to Trailblaze, max defense. It's insane. This mon's stupid. Not to mention, it has Moxie! Every time we get a kill, we get to +1. This mon is another mon that snowballs, just like any of our other mons. Greninja, Latios, and Sneasel, once they get a kill, Greninja specifically, once they get a kill, it's practically game over, and this mon is nothing less. This mon pretty much snags a kill and just says game over, friendo. This mon is so good. This is yet again, I could see myself drafting 90% of these mons because this team is just so powerful, but most importantly, most of these mons fit on any team, and it's just so good. I will tell you right now, you could tell me in the comments if you know a check to this mon right now in draft. With Draft League, Terror, Electric, Fairy, and Ice, it's pretty much impossible to find a good way to stop it. I don't know a check to it. It's always been a thing I've been thinking about too, because yet again, when I don't draft Glacier, it's one of these things in draft where you should always think about certain mons that you have to prep for. Like Chi-Yu, you should always have a Chi-Yu check on your team. You should always have a Chien-Pao check on your team, all this stuff. Glacier is one of those mons. That's how threatened this mon is. This mon is the same level of, okay, I need a check I need a Chiyu check, but most importantly, I need a Glacier check on my team when I'm drafting. And it's really hard to, if not, it's like really impossible to find a check to this. It's really tough to find a check to this. I don't really know a check to this. The best is like Intim. And you like cycle spam. It's really tough to deal with this mon because it gets great coverage. I think this mon will speak for itself in this league. And yet again, if you have ever played just if you just ever played Gen 9 draft league, you'll know this mon has been a threat ever since like day 1 of draft. This mon is such a monster. And I'm excited to use this. I'm really excited to use this. So move on to the next mon because this is I think this is time now. I think we have to no. We have one mon I could say before we do the trade mons. Now this mon we have used incredibly recently. We use it in the CDL. One thing you also notice is that I don't have hazards. I don't have hazard removal. Hazard removal is not looking great. And we have some good weaknesses to hazards. Incineroar and Glacier are the two big ones, really. We don't really like that. So, I picked up one mon that's just so amazing, and it's Blastoise. Blastoise, I think, might be the best hazard spinner, hazard removal in Draft League. And I know that's saying a lot because Iron Threads and Great Tuskers are, they're both around. But it's the fact that this mon is impossible to prep for. It gets shell smacked. Oh no, my bracelet fell off. I don't know how that happened. It gets shell smash. Much importantly, look at the physical and special attack. It can be mixed. Not only mixed, but it's also hard to prep for if you are shell smash, or just specifically a defensive wall, which is what we ran in CDL 90% of the time. Just cause it's really hard to know if you can take the hits from Blastoids because you don't know if it's physical or special yet. Of course, until you do those moves. But not to mention, good defense stat with body press. Absolutely incredible typing coverage. Like, it gets a lot of water, but it gets the coverage it needs. And it gets flip turn, which is really big. It got a big boost because of flip turn. That's one thing that makes it super nice. But of course, it gives us a rapid spin. Now, one thing you should always do when you draft Blastoise is draft another hazard removal so you give it the ability to run Shell Smash freely. Which is what I did do, but I traded my other hazard removal mod. And I'm going to just talk about it instantly because, again, if you want to see me talk about Blastoise in depth but also see it be used, just watch my CDO. I use that, I think, every week. I think I used Blastoise all 9 weeks except my final week. That's how much I used them. But yeah, so I originally had Fortress, which is an amazing support mod. Gives us like more rockers and spikers for Gliscor to be more diverse. But gives us the second rapid spinner to make Blastoise truly unpredictable. However, I dropped it because I actually got sniped and lost the Wacky. Also, I forgot to say, Seed Sower with Sneasler. We finally can do the Grassy Seed so we can proc on Burden consistently. Which is big. But yeah, I got sniped from Thoraki. I was going to pick up Thoraki with Arbavola at the same time, but I got sniped right before me. And the guy, like, week 1 afterwards, he was like, yo, I'll trade you Thoraki if you give me Fortress, because I think he had bad hazard removal. Actually, he had no hazard removal, so he's like, I'll take that, And I'm like, okay, I'll do this trade. So we now have Thoraki and Bashiodon. I'll be fully honest, I have not used Bashiodon yet. And will I? Maybe. If I see a team that doesn't have good hazard removal or any at all I'm saying is that Studi Stealth Rock's looking pretty good right now. But not to mention, like, look at this crazy defensive and spadef stat. If you can give this Terror, this mon actually is equally threatening as Glacier in my opinion. However, I didn't have enough Terror points, most importantly. No, I did have enough Terror points, but I wanted to give it to Thoraki. This mon we're going to be talking about because Thoraki with Grassy Surge with Sneasler is such an amazing duo because you get the Grassy Seed boost. And now we have 2 ways to proc Sneasler Grassy Seed, so we don't have to forcefully bring Thoraki. One thing that's super nice about Thoraki, because of course the Grassy Surge, it gets a Grassy Glide. It gets the best priority in the game with 55 base, Grassy Terrain boosted stab. And then we give it Terra Grass to just hit hard. Choice banded sets are actually a monster. This mon's a monstrous choice band. It's the same thing as Rillaboom, where basically it doesn't have a switch in. Resisted or not, I can tell you guys right now, there was a week where I did bring Banded Thwackey, and they had 2 resists, both of which took 60% to it. That's how good Thwackey is. Not to mention, it can run Wood Hammer and heal back up because of Grassy Surge, but of course, we get Eviolite. We can make a very defensive one with Knockoff, U-Turn, Leech Seed, even any other moves we like, because of course we don't have to be like Grassy Glide. We also get, I thought we did get Taunt. Oh, I guess, I'm sorry, I don't know why, I thought this mon got Reflect specifically, but I guess not, my bad. I thought I got Reflect specifically, but it didn't. But yeah, this mon's amazing. This mon is truly great. We also gave it Terra, Fire, and Steel, and the main reason for that is because of the Grassy Surge, of course. We resist Earthquake, so those don't hit hard, and it gives it amazing coverage, but most importantly, a great defensive typing. Water types don't want to come in on a grass type with Terra Fire, and Steel type is just an amazing defensive typing, especially with the Grassy boost, or the Earthquake resist, because now we're only weak to Fire, and Fighting. That's pretty much it, which is really nice. This mon I definitely love. It's the same, I love it as much as Crocalor. It's it's too bulky, it hits too strong, it has great coverage, and with Terra, it boosts it even further. And you wouldn't think such a little baby boy would be able to be this strong, but it really is, and that's why it's so crazy. I'm really excited. And then, of course, Bastiodon. I'm not really going to talk about Bastiodon. I'm sorry. I don't even know much. Body Press, Stealth Rocks, Lead, Studi. You get Endeavor, maybe? No? You get Curse, actually. We can actually do some Curse sets. I might try to run this guy. We'll see. I do want to run this guy because, I'll tell you guys now how far we are into the, how far we are currently when I'm recording this. I've used every mon except Bastiodon, so I do really want to use it. So I can use all my mons. I like to say that I've used all my mons, because that's what Draft League is all here for. We can even be Substitute, honestly. This mon's not that terrible. It's not bad at all. This is the reason why I picked it up. I don't think it gets spikes, sadly, though. Yeah, no spikes. But it does get back, so. But, yeah. This team, I'm not gonna lie, is just, it's a really good team. This team I am incredibly happy about. This team, I think, might be my strongest team ever. This team, like, 90% of my mons just never, like, my opponents, like, they have said every single time, they don't have checks to 90% of my mons, but yet they have to find that, but also hope that I don't bring another mon that they don't have a check for. Like, they can't have a check for Lottie, Sneasel, Greninja by itself, not to mention our Glacier or Arbavola just putting in massive work, and a Gliscor that just also kind of just is the menace. Not to mention that our entire team, and when I mean entire, I mean entire team, all 12 of my mons, have cores. They all have cores and synergies together, and that's something that's really, really, really tough to get in a team, and something that you never. It's a dream come true when you get that. And I truly made an amazing team. I'm not gonna say it's a perfect team. I'm not gonna say. I think it would be a dream team. I think it's a dream team for me. I love all these mons. I love using them, and I'm happy with it. This is also my playstyle, so. And I think you guys will see how comfortable and how much I love this team when I use it. I'll tell you guys now, I feel so incredibly confident using this team, which is such a important factor. So, I'll stop holding up, you guys. It's been a long time. It's been like 40 minutes of me just talking about these mons. And, yeah, I hope you guys are excited for this, because I'm super excited for this league. I love this league. This also might be a fun, battle between me and my bro. So that's pretty good, you know. That's pretty important to see. There's a brother rivalry going on, so see if we can take him down, you know. But yeah, there's some fun players in here too. There's some really cool teams that I love in this, and yeah, I'll see you guys week 1, I guess, and expect some crazy sets, because when I'm comfortable with the team, I start running crazy sets, and you'll see that like week 3. I'll see you guys later.